So we're starting off 2026 with the 17th Marvel television project. Is it good? Is it bad? Or is it the same thing as usual? Or is it a truly wondrous premise? What do you think?
It might be wonderful.
We'll find out. Hello and welcome to the Spiraken TV review. I'm Xan,
I'm Greta.
and we're here to talk about another TV show. It's been a while, and we're actually talking about one which a lot of people are talking about. Talking about Wonder Man, which is the latest Marvel TV adaptation or creation. This is the 17th Marvel TV show. It's been crazy. It's been a while
Mhm.
for the MCU. And more importantly, this is one which takes place in the MCU, and a lot of the characters are a little, well, they're all people who actually exist. We also found out that Josh Gad is actually a Marvel character. How crazy is that?
Olaf.
Yep.
Olaf is a Marvel character.
And so is Joey Pants, Joey Pantaleone. That one I was like, really? Joey Pantaleone, Cypher from The Matrix is a character? But I digress. Now let's actually before we talk about this, let's actually show you the trailer for this. And this is one which is kind of cool, a little different, and more importantly, it's a little, well, it does something different than all the other superhero shows that we've had from Marvel so far. It's a little different. Let's get to it because it shows, well, Simon. I like that his costume is just very basic. And you don't really get much. Meanwhile, Trevor, we know Trevor.
I forgot about Trevor.
He's Trevor.
Yeah, but
Trevor
I forgot.
forgot that he was in 3 movies,
Yeah.
which is kind of crazy. I do like the fact that they're like, oh, how do you remember him? He was a terrorist.
He must be really.
It's Ben Kingsley. He's awesome. And she looks like she's from a completely different movie. She's just a weirdo.
Well, she matches the house.
This is true.
He looks
I was shocked seeing him because last time I saw him was in Superman as the evil dictator.
He looks like the finger in an electric house.
He's a director. He fits it 100%.
Einstein.
And all those other moments about this, which is kind of cool. And him doing his different takes. This is really hard to do. Honestly, lighting a set is really hard. It's kind of cool.
You wonder if he is an actor does the same kind of stuff.
Probably does. Yahya was pretty cool with this.
Yeah, yeah.
I love the music in this. The it fits it so well. Ah, you
Bad
suck.
guy.
You suck, Cleary. You suck. And I didn't realize he was an Academy nominated character. I didn't know he was an actor. And now that we see it, it actually fits so well. They did such a great job with this trailer. And this part is like he's trying to still fish for information. He still is. Oh boy.
Do you have super speed? No, I'm gonna use my car.
Yeah. So let's actually get to this. So this is the trailers. It fits the series so well because it shows this is not a typical Marvel TV show. This is not the typical I am going to fight the bad guys or I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that. It's not WandaVision where it's the satire of all the TV shows. It's not Loki, which is Loki going through the TVA trying to do things. It's not the She-Hulk comedy hour, which is She-Hulk trying to not be She-Hulk, even though she totally should be She-Hulk and be a lawyer. It's not a lawyer show. Let's be honest. It wasn't a lawyer show. And it's not like Daredevil, which is its own creative thing. And we have an evil kitty trying to escape. But more importantly, this is a show about making movies. But it's not like the studio starring Seth Rogen. It's something a little different. Because it is that lifestyle. Right? And let's actually get to some of the characters. First off, we've got Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, who's playing Simon Williams. Very underrated Marvel character we'll get to in a little bit. And then Ben Kingsley is Trevor Slattery, who we've seen multiple
But
times.
again, I kind of forgot about Trevor. I forgot about the Mandarin until you said Shang-Chi. And I was like, oh. But he's like back burner in my brain.
He's an older character. He was a little different. And then, of course, we've got a couple other characters. Aaron Moyad as P. Cleary. This is his third project. And honestly, we're hating him more and more as we watch
That
him.
guy.
Because I mean, we saw him first in Spider-Man: No Way Home, where he was just a prick. He was just trying to arrest Peter. Then we saw him in Ms. Marvel, where he was a prick and he's trying to arrest her. Now this time, he is a prick and he's trying to arrest Simon and fails miserably. That's what this show is. And he's good. Another character we have is besides those ones, we have Ex Mayo as uh, it's we don't know if she's Trevor's agent, but she is Simon's agent. And she does a good job as a agent. You feel like she's doing the hustle.
I liked her because she seemed very non spoiler. She seemed very real.
Yeah,
she's a real person, real character. Like
she's like, what the hell did you do? You were not supposed to have this call
I
list.
can see her being the agent, being like
really pissed about this.
Well, like putting out fires, being real with people, and then when you get hot, being professional, and I'm gonna kiss up a little bit, but I'm gonna still call you on your bull because I knew you win.
And also more importantly than that, he's the one who's like, or she's the one who's like, oh, we're just talking. We can make some things happen.
She plays that line.
She plays the goal
really good.
but she's a little stressful with that. And then of course another character we've got Zlatko Boric as Vankova, and you're like, yeah, Kovac is totally this insane director that you're like, yeah,
he looks crazy. He looks absolutely crazy.
But you can see like he's won like 30 awards, and you could.
It's totally also the directors don't usually care what they look like. What's his name? Wears a baseball hat. Like
a lot of them wear baseball hats. And then of course we have all the celebrity cameos. Also shows that a lot of things like poetic justice is actually in this world.
But some celebrities are themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which means we can't have them as other characters, though.
I still like it.
And then, of course, we can't forget Brian Bowers as Damar Davis, Doorman. Now that is a true We'll get to him in a little bit. But what is this show about? This show is about
Wonder Man.
Well, not really. It's about Simon Williams and Trevor Slattery. It is a bromance between these two as they try to get a hold and get into this old remake of an old film called Wonder Man that was released in the 80s. And they are so excited to do this because of various reasons. And while this is going on, also we have Simon, who is trying to be an actor in Hollywood after an event occurred which led to the doorman doctrine, which pretty much says that if you have any superpowers, you can't be an actor. This is an 8-episode miniseries. It's like a
waiver.
Yeah, it's a waiver that he signs, even though he's lying about it because he has powers. And this is an 8-episode series that was released on one night on January 27th, and it was from start to finish really interesting and really quiet. I mean, honestly, it is only only 30 minutes an episode.
Yeah, it didn't feel like it was incredibly long.
It felt like I could see it released over a couple of weeks, but it would not benefit this because it is such a quick series. It really
could have been a movie.
No, it needed more time to breathe. It needed a little bit of time to breathe. I think this could have been released over 2 weeks, like 4 episodes and 4 episodes, like we did it. We watched it 4 episodes and 4 episodes.
Or movie part 1 and movie part 2.
No, it had to be just one shot because it was literally one day. It wasn't one day. It was like a couple of weeks. But we have all this going on, and more importantly, the big question is, who is Wonder Man? What is Wonder Man? Well, in the TV show, Wonder Man is a space invader, a fighter, a kick-ass person who is awesome, and he has a jetpack and he wears a signature pair of glasses.
And he's fictional.
And he's a fictional character.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in Marvel,
in the real world,
Wonder Man is this guy. Wonder Man is a character that was originally created in Avengers number 9 all the way back in 1964. He was an Avengers villain who would become a superhero over time and, changes his looks. He'd eventually become the actor and stuntman Simon Williams, whose power of ionic energy would kick ass. And over time, he'd be pretty cool. His powers are he's super strong. He could fly. Well, he could jump far. He eventually could fly. He's indestructible, he's immortal, and also, fun little fact, he is the template for Vision's brain. Vision is a copy of Simon Williams, which is also why Simon Williams and Wanda have a thing in the comics. Because technically her husband, Vision, is actually Wonder Man. And as I said, we have, besides them, then of course we had Trevor Slattery, who's not a comic character. And we'll get to Trevor in a second, but Trevor is, well, let's get the video up. Let's show up Trevor. So Trevor is, if you remember in Iron Man 3, arguably the most polarizing of the Iron Man. Either you loved it or hated it. As you may know, if you listen to this podcast or watch a show for a while, I am not a fan of the movie. But Trevor was an actor who pretended to be the Mandarin. Meanwhile, a certain villain played by, well, was the actual Mandarin, allegedly. Until we found out that in reality,
So he really wasn't
no, he
a
wasn't.
supervillain or a dictator or anything. He was just an actor.
He was hired to be a terrorist. He gets arrested. Then we get
But the world thinks of him as
a terrorist.
Like a terrorist, like a really big bad guy.
Who did some horrible things. But it turns out someone else did it, but he still went to jail because he was the face of this organization. Until we discover that the person who created the Mandarin was copying someone else, which we found out in Shang-Chi, and at the end of Return of the King, he gets broken out of prison and arrested to be executed. But as we found out in Shang-Chi, he's fine. He's just essentially the court jester for the Mandarin, or Zhenwu. So yeah. And now this takes place a couple years after that, when he goes back to America to be an actor again. Only one little problem: he's still a wanted criminal.
Oh yeah, because he didn't finish his
Sentence.
his prison sentence, and he's just walking around, and people are like, "Didn't you really do it? Did you really do it? Did you finish prison?"
Which is a whole thing. So that leads to him actually maybe working for damage control, because damage control is a bunch of assholes who want to arrest people because their reasoning is so stupid. It's slight spoilers again. They made a new prison and they need criminals to be in the prison, so they're going to arrest enhanced people.
They need money for running their organization, paying all of their people, all those things. So they need to put people in the prison so that they can say, "Oh, it's effective. We are running this prison, and there's a lot of people in it. We need to keep it going." Which
isn't really effective. It's kind of
it has parallels to the real world that we actually live in, and
it's essentially registration and other things. It's a lot of just the prison population being something what it is. But
so that's why they're trying to be bad guys and be like, "Okay, you are still on the hook. You need to help us."
And so what they do is they're going to investigate Simon, who has allegedly powers, even though he's an actor, and actors aren't supposed to be superheroes or have superpowers. Nope. And so they are going to bait the hook and get him into this movie that he's addicted to because of his past, which we're not going to get into.
So we're spoiling and we're not spoiling.
Yep. A couple other characters we have, I forgot completely to say. We had his brother Eric, who in the comics is actually a supervillain.
And
known as a Grim Reaper.
He's kind of a bad big brother.
He's kind of a prick.
He's a good first son to his mom, but he's a bad big brother.
They do not even have the whole thing with the Grim Reaper in this at all. It's kind of sad. He's not the Grim Reaper, he's just his brother.
But he's mean.
He's a big brother. That's what he does. He's a big brother.
I don't have a big brother.
Well, big brothers do that. But he's more judgmental, and also because his little brother was the favorite, it's the whole thing. It leads to a lot of contention because Simon is trying to be an actor, and if you are familiar with the actor lifestyle, it's kind of rough.
It's a struggle.
You do a lot of things, you work hard, and more importantly than that, and sadly, it doesn't always work out. When you're not acting, you do other gigs. Either you're a waiter, or you're an Uber driver, or you're a delivery guy, or
you can get by getting commercials, and you get another commercial, and you get another commercial.
So essentially, you're living on basic things, and also a lot of times you live on, well, extra money from family, which leads to some other issues. Meanwhile, his brother's like, "Why don't you get a real job? You're smart enough." Blah blah blah. So it's that. So it's Simon trying to deal with that.
Family. I think they nailed family.
They did. It's a good aspect of that. Also.
And the mom, I love the mom. They're Haitian, so they have this beautiful like Haitian accent, and she's
a good mom though. She actually's there for him. She cares about him, and she's trying. And also dealing with the fact that early on we had the death of his father, which we find a little bit about. I'm not gonna spoil that. That's what the show is about. The show is about Simon and Trevor's relationship, and this is a bromance. It's because they become best friends as they try to get into this role.
And non-spoiler,
they work hard on it.
I thought it was a really slow start. But in my defense, I kind of forgot about the Mandarin. I was lost for a little bit. I wasn't I wasn't remembering like, oh, superheroes really exist in this world. I was like, it was a little bit of a dumb moment for myself. Like, okay, this is a Marvel show, and yes, there's superheroes in Marvel, but I was slow on the intake, and so the first episode,
You were confused.
I was really confused. I kept asking really dumb questions, and I was like,
You were fine. You just
The
it's been a while.
second episode, it got a lot better for me
The
personally.
show
By the end, I really liked it.
This is the show from start to finish is really well done. It has a great transition where it's pretty much them the bait, the hook, him trying to, and it's little short moments. It's just them doing something simple. One episode is them just trying to find a space to shoot their demo tape, and it gets so ridiculous. Another time, it's something where maybe someone saw maybe saw Simon use his powers, and they have to get a GoPro back. And it's just this whole
The shenanigans that happens because of something that goes wrong.
and there is a bottle episode which deals with the actual doorman registration, which is the doctor, which is really clever because it is about the character in question. We're talking about Doorman, who is a D-list Marvel character for the Great Lake Avengers, who has the most stupid power. His power is he is a door. He's got the same power as Cloak from Cloak and Dagger, also from Roxanne. The only difference is that he didn't take heroin. Long story. And he just his whole thing is you walk into him and you're able to pour it out somewhere else. And his catchphrase in the comics, and they bring it to this thing, is "Ding dong."
It was cute. Some of us liked
And
that
it's a
so much more.
but we
than,
get Josh Gad trying to do a serious.
I did really like Josh Gad, and he was flipping hilarious.
But Mario Lopez is also in this episode, which is great because
as Mario Lopez.
but this explains the doctrine because it shows that because Doorman's powers are so erratic, bad things can happen. And it's essentially what happened in the original Civil War, where because of a mutant's powers, an entire city got blown up. It's the reaction of that could cause problems. In this, it's if you have a problem in the celebrity world, like what happens if you kill a PA because of your powers? That's kind of bad. So they're now trying to be like, we're going to deal with this. It's going to be good. And this episode sets up the doctrine. Also, it sets up something which is referred to earlier when they said, well, we had this incident happen which led to him being found out. And that's the catalyst, is him finding out about the.
Now, I did like that for that episode that they did for the doorman. It starts out black and white, and it like slowly comes into color. But it really kind of like marked it as this is different. This is a side story. This is giving you depth. It's not like, oh wait, is this happening at the same time? So that I thought was really well done, even though I didn't like that episode.
It felt like Werewolf by Midnight, where that was a whole. It's happening in the world, but we don't. It's black and white. It's the past. Also, I do like that it does show the rise and fall of acting and shows how bad it go. Like the minute you're popular, suddenly you're winning awards and you're great, and then the next minute you're selling TV infomercial potatoes.
What happens if you got your 15 minutes and you didn't make that
last?
Happen? Right.
And that's what that episode is, and then it goes back into the main part of the story, which is dealing with all the stuff with Wonder Man, and it's a great show. There is no major antagonist except for, well, let's be honest, Simon Williams is getting in his own way because he overthinks. He pushes too hard.
He really got in his own way.
And then, of course, we have the DOD, which is there trying to, DODC is watching him. Damage Control wants him arrested, and he's doing what he can to fail. Meanwhile, Trevor is stuck in the, this guy, I'm supposed to be, essentially, I'm getting intel, but I like this guy. He's my friend. And there's a great parallel, slight spoilers. There's a movie that's referenced in the beginning of this entire series, which keeps coming back, and it's this. The film is about two people who come together, become friends. Has a kind of bad ending, and this is that situation. It has that.
It's really Trevor and Simon.
And there's some great moments where it's as they're acting. There's moments that are emulating what's happening in real life. Like we just got a script scene. It's about this, but he's his only friend, and it's or his.
You're like, yeah.
And you feel bad because it's like, what are you gonna do, and Trevor? Are you gonna betray this person that's become your friend? What's gonna happen? Who's gonna win? What's gonna happen? And we also don't get the typical Marvel fight sequence at the end. We don't get that, and his powers we never really see until the last moment. We only see glimpses and bits of it. It's few moments of him using his powers a little bit, not his true power set until the
I
end.
don't think he's
He knows it
really tapping into his true power set
until
and
the
really
end.
controlling it. It's a discovery moment for him. I think it's like
At the end, he is in full
I
control.
think it's a little bit like Frozen, where she's hiding her powers, doing all of that, and then it's Let It Go.
That is.
Does anybody remember that song, Let It
Yeah.
Go? So and she comes into her own and figures out what she can really do. I think he has a Let It Go moment.
Maybe.
Hashtag Frozen.
Maybe. I think that it's he just after at
Accepted
the end,
with brothers versus with sisters.
he accepts it and he has the ability. He's using it so consciously and so well at the end. It's like he's been practicing. And also, you gotta admit that mic drop at the end.
We're not gonna spoil everything.
That mic drop at the end of the thing was great.
We're not gonna spoil everything.
You started smiling immediately when you heard it.
Mhm.
There's a mic drop, which is just, again, going back to the first episode, it's a nice little callback. So overall, what do we think about the show? First off, Yahya Abdul-Mateen, he sells it as Simon Williams. If he doesn't get a nomination for this role, they're out of their minds.
He's so annoying in the beginning.
He's so good.
You just kind of think that he's so annoying, but he's phenomenal.
And he sells all the little moments, like when he's in his first time trailer, he's doing all the little things of the warm-ups, the voice noises, and then he talks to a director, and then he starts thinking outside his head, and we see that. Then later on, we see the progression. Later on, when he's in a better trailer, and he's in more of a position of power in a movie, it shows this moment. And also all the different things he does when he's doing his acting.
Not gonna spoil.
Also, I do like the fact that there's a scene when they're going through his computer, and they say that's a lot of screen of dub tapes for audition tapes. It's like,
but
he's an actor.
Yeah, and he tends to overthink things.
He has hundreds of videos, and that's actually with this. I do tons of videos too. How many times do I have to reset the episodes to start off?
Yeah.
Couple 1, 2, 5, 10, 15, 20, 35, something like that. Who knows? But overall, it's a good show. It's worth watching. I think it's actually one of the best Marvel shows out there. It actually sticks the landing. Most times, that's where the Marvel shows kind of tend to fall apart, is that last part. I mean, Loki season 1, yes, you get the he who remains. We get He Who Remains at the end of Loki 1. But that episode was kind of, until you see the end of season 2, it doesn't come to fruition.
For me, it's, do I want to see more? And yeah, I want to see more. Am I going to be sad if it's 1 month, 2 months later? I'm going to forget about it? 100%. I'm going to forget about it.
You think you're going to forget about it?
I'm going to forget about it. It wasn't my favorite. I think they did a great job. Yahya was amazing. Ben Kingsley was amazing. And the story was really great. I didn't love every episode. I didn't love it as much as you did, but
no, but the overall story is great.
Definitely worth watching.
And compared to a lot of this phase of Marvel, let's be honest, we've had 17 TV shows, and how many of them were bad?
I feel like I would like more of this, and I would like this whole miniseries to have been maybe semi-truncated into a longer movie or 2 shorter movies, and then I want what happens next more than what I wanted happening here.
Well, allegedly he'll be showing up or they will be showing up in Avengers Secret Wars, maybe, which would be kind of cool.
100% full of that. And I'm going to be, when we get to that movie and we get to that part, I'm going to be like, okay, well, you have to watch this for that to make sense to get to there. Because you're not going to know who Wonder Man is any other way.
Well, we'll see. I mean, we have 3 TV shows left this season. I'm not including all the animated stuff. We're not including X-Men 97. We're not including Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, which was a really good show. And we'll get into that in a moment. But we've got this. We've got Vision Quest, which is the last part of the third part of the WandaVision trilogy. And we've got Daredevil, and we got Punisher. Which, it's actually a stacked year for Marvel. We got a lot of good stuff. And speaking of which, the marketing for this sucked. Because we had nothing. The only thing we had was
marketing?
Exactly.
I didn't know about the show.
The only marketing I had was that there was a phone number in one of the trailers, and if you call the phone number or text it, you actually get Trevor Slattery, and it's his acting studio. It's a bunch of little acting videos and texts you get on the phone. That was it. It's a
It's kind
cool,
of cute though.
it's a good viral marketing,
It
but
kind
they
of pulls
didn't
you
do
into like
anything
a
else.
real world moment of it. But I really didn't know until you were
But
like, "Hey, we have to watch this."
but remember, we had what was it? Remember with She-Hulk, there was commercials everywhere. Moon Knight, there was commercials everywhere. Loki,
I did like Moon Knight.
Moon Knight was one of the better ones. But
Yeah,
again, the ending.
I did like
But
Loki.
that. But again, the ending. They dropped the ball at the ending for each one. This
This
one,
one is the opposite. I feel like they dropped the ball in the middle. It was a slow start. They dropped the ball in the middle, but they stuck the landing
I don't think.
at the end.
I think
In
that
my opinion.
in your opinion, I mean, the slowest episode I think was the episode with the GoPro. I think that was the episode that was kind of like it makes sense why because it's setting everything up, and I do like that the
I think
moment.
it's the doorman episode for me.
I don't. I think the Doorman is a great episode because it's a good standalone and it sets up the world. If that had been
I'll vouch
first,
for it. He really liked it.
I liked it. I think that the best episode overall was the. It's either the first or the last.
Last.
Well, no, actually, the second to last episode and the last because
Last.
the whole show is you. In order for you to appreciate the last episode, you have to see the whole build up and the twist. You have to. You can't
Agreed.
because you do need to see that whole thing, and especially that switch with Simon and
I
Trevor.
think it's worth watching and binging. I don't think you need to sit and wait for another one to come out and wait for another one to come out.
No, that was what I was saying. You have it. You do it in two parts, possible. You could do it in one shot. You could, but I'd say do it in two halves. Half it after, stop at the Doorman episode, then go to the next episode the next day. That's where you take your break. Otherwise, you got to go straight through, and it is a great show. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. It's really good. We would have had a rating card here, but I'm having some weird problems with the rating card for the TV show review. Still working on some new ratings for it, but I think it was pretty good. And anyway, hope you enjoyed this episode. As usual, I'm Zen.
I'm Greta.
Remember to like, share, subscribe, and as always, keep watching TV. We'll see you next time.